This is the Railway series. This is what Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends comes from. Seasons 1 and 2 fully adapted it, Season 3 partially adapted it, Season 4 mostly adapted it, and Season 20 mildly adapted it. However, not every Railway series story was adapted. Quite a few were skipped, and for many fans, they want to see these on the TV screen, whether it would have been back then with the models, in the CGI times, or they want to see a more current take of it with a new reboot or something like that that's more true to Audrey's vision. But I've been thinking, should the entirety of the Railway series be adapted? We had quite a number of Railway series stories already adapted, with a total of 97, and counting annuals, the amount of Railway series stories goes up to 173. So, should these all be adapted, or should they stay forever in the books? This video was inspired by ExpressBean64's video on how the classic series could have turned out if the entirety of the Railway series was adapted. Now, this isn't a rebuttal against his video. Honestly, I heavily recommend it. Link will be in the description. Please go watch it. It was a really good video that laid out how different the classic series could have been if the entire Railway series was adapted up till Season 7. But what I'm asking isn't if this would work well, it's more of a, should these be adapted at all, or should they maybe forever stay a part of the Railway series? So let's start off with the pros of these being adapted in any caliber. To start with the major pros, well, we would get to see them all in a televised form, whether it be through models, through CGI, 2D animation, whatever. Getting to see these movement and in person without just illustrations, that would be really cool, and there's no doubt about it. Along with that, it potentially would add more lore to any television show, whether that be the original one, All Engines Go, or any kind of reboot going forward. It would add a lot. And it'd be fun and creative to see what kind of changes they make, and it would expose a lot of other people to some of these stories who've never read the Railway series before, so characters like Bear, Caldy could become just as much household names as Skarloey or Mavis. In general, it does seem like I am giving it a lot of praise here, having all these adapted. And to be real with you, I would love to see all these adapted. I want to see what kind of changes they'd make. I want to see how they would handle certain stories in a television format and what kind of runtime they would have. So then, what would be the cons of adapting the remaining batches of the Railway series? So when it comes to cons of not adapting the entire Railway series, you'd probably think, well, it doesn't sound like there's any. But I kind of have a big one. I feel like if the entire Railway series was adapted into a television format, it'd make the Railway series as a whole feel kind of obsolete. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying the Railway series would have no point, but if it never had any exclusive stories and every single one was made for the TV show, I can't imagine a lot of people wanting to see what the Railway series had to offer without these exclusive stories. It just become a thing of, oh, those books are nothing more than the things the TV show are based off of. Heck, with the amount of them they've already adapted, it kind of already is. Like, as a kid, I had no clue what the Railway series was, so obviously, now that I'm older and I discovered the Railway series later, it was really cool to see unique characters like Caldy or Bear or the like that I'd never heard of before, see what kind of stories they got into, and see a lot of exclusive things the Railway series had that the TV show didn't, the kind of lore it added the TV show didn't. It was its own entity and beast because it didn't have everything the TV show had. So I feel like if the TV show were to have had all of these, or if a further adaptation did indeed do the entire Railway series in the storyline, it would make it a lot obsolete for a lot of people. Think about some movies like Lord of the Rings. Sure, it might not have everything that Tolkien's books have, but it has enough of it for people to think, I don't need to read the books. And would you really want that on the Railway series? For it to lose that luster and just become the, oh yeah, that's the thing the show is based off of, but I'll watch the show instead kind of thing. Sure, there might be some differences, sure there might be, but in my personal opinion, I think the Railway series should stay unadapted so that the Railway series can always have its own unique flair away from the TV show. But yeah, if you ask me for further Thomas productions, if the unadapted Railway series stories should be, my eyes are no. In my opinion, the Thomas franchise moving forward should be more Audrey inspired than Audrey adapted, meaning take influence from the stories Audrey has already created to make new original stories, as opposed to readapting some that may have been skipped before. This way, the Railway series won't have to worry about that losing its relevance and touch kind of feel that I'm afraid could happen to it if the entire book series were to be adapted. But those are just my thoughts. If you disagree, please tell me in the comments below. Tell me why you think the entire Railway series should inevitably be adapted for a television market, and I'll definitely be interested in hearing what you guys say. Thank you all for watching, and please have a good day.